Have you horny dogs ever hoped for a girl to become obsessed with you after you heroically helped her through something? Well, if you do, you would love this story. The story begins with our main character, Haruka, walking through an abandoned building, feeling disappointed at the fact that the haunted building that he is in is not scary at all. He even hopes that he could find a scarier place when he gets into high school. Suddenly, he heard some noises outside the window. He checked and saw two girls in an argument. One girl said that the girl with black hair is suffocating her. Oh, so she's a kinky one, huh? Anyways, this argument turned into a one-sided rap battle, as the girl with black hair is getting cooked right now. Seeing how helpless she seems, Haruka puts on a scary mask and scares the chef away. Remember, just because this is not JJK, the faith of a one-on-one would still be ungiven. The girl is very thankful and asks for Haruka's name, but Haruka ran off like a beta and even tried to act cool while doing so. He really fumbled the bag this time. Haruka kept on running until he ran out of breath. We then get a flashback where Haruka fell from a balcony when he was a kid and landed on a bush. He had vague memories of it, but what he remembers is that the beats that his heart was cooking made him feel alive. From there, we learned he loves running and horror, as that stuff makes his heart beat fast, which he enjoys. Oh, okay, I see. So Haruka's a freaky one too. On his first day of high school, each student stood up and introduced themselves. This is when Haruka heard a familiar voice. It was the girl he helped during the argument. Her name is Kisaki Tokano, and she appeared surprised to see him as she thanked Haruka once again for helping him, looking at him in a weird way. During class, Haruka and Kisaki both volunteered to be librarians. Geez, what a coincidence. They walked back to the classroom after their first meeting as librarians in the library, getting closer and closer. Tired by this, Haruka's friend shouted at him for having a good relationship with the girls, while he couldn't even talk to one. Damn. He is just like me for real. After school, Haruka walked Kisaki to the bus stop. Just as she left, a girl wanted to have a chat with Haruka. It was the girl that had been scared away in the argument. Haruka reluctantly agrees as she only wants to talk to him alone. In the park, the girl told her to stay away from Kisaki. Apparently, the girl is called Rinko, and she met Kisaki back in middle school, and at first they will chat normally as friends, but then, Kisaki would start getting weird, like using the same shampoo and waiting outside of Rinko's house without Rinko even telling her the brand of the shampoo or her address. She will even get possessive and jealous when Rinko hangs out with another girl. Haruka did not believe him at first, but after seeing the outrageous and creepy stuff in the game chat between Rinko and Kisaki, Haruka is shocked. However, in the far distance, we see Kisaki camping in the bushes like she's in a Fortnite lobby. The next day, Haruka asked if he could have a chat with Kisaki on the rooftop, and she was anxious and stressed. On the rooftop, Haruka does not know how to address what is in his mind, to which Kisaki gave Haruka that Yandere death stare. Feared by her conqueror's haki, Haruka took a deep breath and asked, "Would you go out with me?" "Wait, what? I am just as stunned as Kisaki. His boys are not even around. Why is he sacrificing himself for nothing?" This activates Kisaki's yandere instincts as she starts to shiver in love and obsession, warning Haruka on what he has gotten himself into. But apparently, this is exactly what Haruka wants, as his heart starts cooking up beats that felt the same when he fell from the window. Haruka is filled with excitement, as he can finally feel fear again. Just like that, a new relationship has been formed. Next day in the morning, Kisaki was already waiting for him outside of his apartment building. Speechless, Haruka and Kisaki both got onto a bus. During the ride, Kisaki just will not stop staring at him with those egoist eyes from Blue Lock. Is she a striker or a high school student? I cannot tell. After this, Kisaki remembered that she has something important to do after school, so she cannot walk home with Haruka. Haruka understood and wasn't bothered about it. After school, we see Rinko walking home while suddenly, Kisaki appeared in front of her. Rinko is shocked, and it only got worse as Kisaki became an egoist again and started rapping about how cheeky Rinko is, thinking she can avoid her and break her relationship with Haruka. Luckily, Kisaki saw what happened and got off the bus at the next stop. This time around, Rinko is cooked and asked what the meaning of all this is. Surprisingly, Kisaki came to thank her. She is glad with how things have turned out with Haruka, as kind of contributed to the result by telling Haruka what kind of girl Kisaki is. But she threatened Rinko that if she were going to do something about it, it would have been done yesterday. I hope she is not talking about the suffocating bit at the start. We then transition to Haruka, chilling at home, watching a scary movie, while complaining how boring it is. Suddenly, his phone started to ring. It's Rinko who's calling him. The moment he received the call, Rinko started shouting at him, asking why he did not stay away from Kisaki, claiming that getting involved with her will only cause him trouble. However, Haruka explained that this trouble she's talking about is exactly why he is dating Kisaki, depicting Kisaki as the perfect girlfriend to have. Rinko is lost and thinks that Haruka is just as psychotic as Kisaki is. I feel you, Rinko. Haruka is ready to hang up the phone, hoping to see her sometime in the future, but Rinko puts on her toque again and makes one last roast before they end the call. After the call, Haruka realized something. Judging by the way Rinko talked, it is as if she's making the call and asking these questions for someone else like Kisaki. At the same time, in a different room, we see Kisaki using her conqueror's haki on Rinko during the call. Kisaki has a hunch that maybe Haruka knows she was next to Rinko during the call, appreciating the effort Haruka is putting in the relationship, even if he does not mean it. At this point, Kisaki is just too down bad for Haruka. She then told Rinko that they should hang out more, as she's like a bestie to Kisaki now. Bruh. The next day, Kisaki asked Haruka if she could go to his house for their first date, to which Haruka accepted her request. They went home together, and once they opened the door, his Gayat, Milfy mom is surprised that his son got company over, let alone a girl. She is more surprised when she sees and recognizes Kisaki. Haruka is just as shocked as he did not expect his mom to know Kisaki. They all sat down, and his mom starts talking about how she met Kisaki half a year ago when Kisaki helped her because she was having trouble with her bicycle falling over. After that, they met again in the store, where Kisaki helped her out with groceries. Kisaki appeared surprised as well, calling it all a coincidence. But we all know damn well that Kisaki had it all planned out. I mean, just look at Haruka. He is stressed and lost for words. Anyways, Haruka's mom is still processing the fact that Haruka's lonely ass brought home a girl. When Haruka explained that Kisaki is his girlfriend, rather than being happy for him, his mom felt bad for Kisaki having to date a weirdo like Haruka. She then tells Haruka to take loving care of Kisaki, as she really likes her. After hearing this, Haruka felt entrapped by Kisaki. They then enter Haruka's room, and Kisaki immediately scans the whole room as she finds it remarkably interesting because she has never been able to get into his room. Few moments later, Haruka's mom asked for his help with the snacks she prepared for them. Haruka left the room. We then see Kisaki hopping on that outdated side-eye trend while eavesdropping Haruka's conversation with his mom. When he returns, he busted open the door, the FBI style. He sees Kisaki doing something dodgy with his bed. She says that she is just smelling his bed for his scent. Nothing weird, right? Haruka wanted to play video games with her, but the console is unplugged, which is pretty sussy as Haruka left it on sleep mode last time. They ended up watching horror movies together. It is now time for Kisaki to leave. Haruka's mom contemplated on how much of a noob Haruka is when it comes to a date. Kisaki responded saying how grateful she is to come over. Touched, Haruka's mom leaned in for a hug. After the hug, Kisaki left. As she left, his mom just would not stop talking about the date, but little do they know, the whole conversation is being recorded and streamed on Kisaki's earphones. So that is what she did when she was all alone in Haruka's room. Apparently, she planted a bug in Haruka's plug to the gaming console, which allowed her to listen to what was going on in Haruka's house. However, although it only covers a small area, Kisaki sees this as a success as she gets to learn a lot more about him. To be continued.